Up in Time Entertainment interviewing Andrew Frith Films.
Thank you.
So Andy,
Yeah.
the basic the background of what inspired you to get into films.
What inspired me to get into films? Well, what it is, I grew up basically by bootleg films, literally.
Was that from DVD days?
Nah, before that, video. I'm talking about video, man. I'm
Video. Betamax, right.
I'm not Betamax, but VHS.
Yeah.
So we used to get pirate videos basically at a young age, and
That's what everybody else did do.
yeah, but I was really young. I was getting them films at probably 9, 10,
Yeah.
11. So I was watching things like, I don't know, like things like Die Hard. Things that older, old school.
Yeah.
But yeah, we was watching a lot of films from young. So, I was very engaged, and because my parents were quite old, they're always working at the time and stuff like that. And I grew up watching films, and the films basically taught me a lot about life.
So you eat, breathe, smell, talk films.
Kung fu films, you name it. I just into films, but it was more as a hobby.
Yeah.
My primary thing was playing football. I was a footballer at the time, but films was something that was like.
Oh, so you was a footballer before you decided to do the films and stuff?
Yeah.
So when did you realise you had skill as a footballer, to be a footballer,
Well, life's funny, innit? Life takes you on a journey, and the journey started with me sort of like loving films.
Yeah.
As a kid, I wasn't really thinking of acting at the time. I wasn't thinking of filmmaking. I was young. I just enjoyed watching films.
Yeah.
And after, I was playing football. Wanted to be a footballer. I had famous footballers around me at the time, helping me out, like the likes of Ian Wright. He was a good mentor for me,
So you're right here.
Yeah, Ian Wright, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Ian Wright. So Ian was taking me to football, actually. Yeah. Ian would take me to football and stuff when I was playing for Palace. So, it was odds on that I was going to be a footballer.
Yeah, it was written in the stars.
Yeah, but I was I was in love with movies. But as I said, never thought of it as a profession. So the story really goes, I played football for a while, didn't focus as well as I should have done.
Yeah.
Got a few injuries along the way.
What, major injuries? Or
Yeah, I broke my ankle. Once.
Yeah.
Nothing that I couldn't come back from, but when you're a child growing up and you ain't got the right guidance around you,
Yes.
you end up kind of staring off. And with football, it's something that's quite constant, and it's something that you need to focus on at a young age. Because that's when you're going to really reap the benefits and get there a bit faster. When you're kind of trying your best in your in your 20s, it's difficult because it's an uphill struggle.
Yeah.
So basically from there, I ended up playing semi-professional for a while.
What team was that? What team was semi-professional?
I played probably for every team in London.
What, Charlton as well?
No, do you know what? I played for Charlton as a kid.
Eh?
Yeah, I played for Charlton as a kid. But I played for like Dulwich Hamlet,
Yeah.
Bromley, Heybridge, Croydon. I stayed at Croydon for a long time, and I was scoring goals. I was in the newspaper every week. And then at one point, I had a friend, funny enough, that used to play for Charlton. His name's Sam Appiah. He got a bad injury.
Whoa.
And he was actually I remember him, he was actually in a Lily Shaw clinic with Alan Shearer. So he was on that level.
Jeez.
Yeah, he was with Alan Shearer. But anyway, at the time, he was seeing someone that I was friends with the girl he was seeing's cousin.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
And it was mad because we used to see each other quite a lot. He's older than me. He weren't playing football anymore. And he said to me, you know what? I saw him on an advert, a sports advert. I said, how'd you get on that, Sam? He went, I'm with an agency. I said, what's it called? He goes, Sports Workshop Promotions. So I went, okay. I said, could you help me get me on this?
Yeah.
Right? Because even though I'm still playing, I wouldn't mind having some money on the side. And I've always loved TV, but I never knew how to get into it. So he ended up, getting me with them. So I signed up. But there was something in me where I said, you know what? Everyone loves TV. You speak to everyone wants to be an actor, but I literally loved TV and film from a kid.
And the production and how it's put together and everything.
I loved it from a kid. I used to like watching the makings of films. from a youth,
Yeah.
but it's more to do with just enjoying the whole thing. But as I said, not really thinking about getting into it.
As a future,
Never. And it's funny because when I was a kid, right, I actually wrote a play. I wrote my own Jack the Ripper. I was only about 11 years old because I watched films so much. I just thought, you know what I mean. But anyway, I ended up joining a sports agency.
Yeah.
And then that's when it kind of snowballed from there. I ended up doing commercials, working with Adidas, Nike, and most of it is freestyle.
Yeah.
So most of it's playing football, but it's the tricks.
Was it kind of tense working for them kind of adverts, like the big mainstream adverts like Adidas and Nike? Was it peer pressure, or did they make you feel kind of relaxed when you're doing it? And or how do you feel when you got a phone call, for example?
Money.
Okay, good, right.
So, right. That's how bad team.
And they put a smile in your face straight away.
Well, do you know what it is? I think anything in life you got to work hard.
Yeah.
So I was sort of man that like if I had this philosophy in football, even though I left it a little bit late. So I'd work on stuff repeatedly until I get it. So it would make me feel like when I go there, nerves are not even. There's no nerves.
Yeah,
I just do it naturally, subconsciously. So I ended up. I had to work on my freestyle, all the time. So when I go to these auditions, I can apply myself.
It just naturally come naturally.
Yeah. So I went to for the first one. Do you know what? The first advert I got was an insurance advert, Claims Direct.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
what was it? I
was falling over. I was tripping over and rolling on the ground and all that. So first advert I got, and I was on TV. I was going, oh, I was so excited because I'm on TV.
So you implement your skills on pitch into an advert.
Yeah, I was still playing football at the time.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It got to a point where that was the first advert I'd done. But it got to a point where I started doing so many commercials that if I had a game on Saturday, I'd be scared to get injured because I might have a commercial on Monday or Tuesday. Sometimes I'd be like, oh, I've got to pull out.
You got to wait up.
Yeah, I had to wait up because I was getting more money for the commercials, and you're getting like sometimes £1,000, £1,500, £2,000 for a commercial. So yeah, that's how it started. And I done literally, I body doubled for a lot of top footballers like Jermaine Defoe.
Was that hard to double him?
Yeah, because most of the time when they're putting the footballers in the commercials, they're not doing anything crazy. They're not doing anything that you can't do. It's like most of it's going to be basic skills, basic passing, basic headers. It's just what they will do, show their face. Right. And then you're going to do all the bodies doubling stuff. So you'll be double, dribbling, shooting, nothing major. So it weren't nothing out of my zone, So done that. I was doing those. It was kept them coming. Great, good money. And then it got to a point where I started doing more acting commercials. So it got to a point where it started off football, and then all of a sudden, got to a point where I ended up working with the likes of David Beckham.
You worked with Beckham?
Yeah, I worked with Beckham on a commercial. That's actually one of the last ones I've done, and that was a Sky Sports commercial. Because what happened was, right?
Yeah.
I was an advert in Spain. Right? Advert in Spain, massive advert. All the best players in the world was on this advert. And I named some names for you. I'll a name drop.
Yes, definitely.
Zinedine Zidane, Beckham, Raul, Kaká.
That's A-list.
Yeah, see Kaká at the time. He was, I think, he won the best player in the world at the time, and Kaká was one of the best players I've ever worked with.
Yeah,
he was bad. Lampard, Damien Duff, Ian Robin, Buffon, the goalkeeper, and I was playing Jermaine Defoe in this commercial, and in the commercial they put me in goal. Long story. There's these two kids picking a team. And because I got too much players and they're overrun...
Oh, you'd be goalie.
Yeah, so Jermaine, you're the goalie. So when I was filming this, I was in goal for a lot of the commercial.
Okay.
And what was happening was, I ended up sort of having a premonition. I was in goal, and I thought, it's funny how I've always been into films. And I'll never forget this. It was... I was going to tell the year, but...
So really, that's when the penny dropped and it triggered?
Well, it triggered that... Right, it's really funny that I've... ended up not really concentrating on acting and filmmaking, or acting and being in commercial, being on TV.
Yeah.
And bang, I'm doing it. Football, and I'm doing a bit of TV work, just like that.
So really, you're fulfilling your dream, really.
Well, it's naturally happening.
Yeah.
So that's what I say about the universe sometimes. Sometimes we're here to do certain things and we don't know our true calling, but you got to be kind of sensitive, you got to be spiritual to what you're meant to be here for.
Yeah, be observable and read signs and...
Yeah, exactly. Read signs and feel out things. And I felt that in my mind, you know what, right? I'm here for something. No, sorry. Something is drawing me to this business because I won't be on this set. And loads of people go out for these commercials and I don't get them. So I was in the sun. I remember sitting in goal because I was getting bored and I was thinking, when I get back to England, I was in Spain, by the way.
Yeah.
I was in Madrid. Sorry, I was in Barcelona.
Okay, yeah.
I was in a rough part of Barcelona. That's where it was being shot. Wasn't that rough compared to where we're coming from, but they said it was rough.
And what era is that, where we're coming from?
It was...
Where we're coming from, what era is that?
South London, Lucian, Broccoli, you name it.
C4,
you
Rona.
name it. Yeah, SE4/8/... Yeah. So this is where we're from. And, and don't get me wrong, I mean, out in Barcelona there was a few graffiti things, bit of graffiti.
Yes.
But it wasn't rough. And as I said, that's when I looked up and I realised I think I'm going to go back to England and I'm going to go drama school.
Oh, so you went drama school?
For a bit, yeah. I went to the Harris Agency.
Where was that based? In London?
That's based in Harrow.
In Harrow?
Yeah, I basically got back to England and thought that's the first thing I'd done. I went on the net.
Yeah.
I started going through all these names and I thought, right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get into acting.
So was it hard to join the agency? Did they want to know, like, what have you been doing previously before?
Yeah.
Why choose this company, for example?
Well, the woman's she's quite smart in terms of how she kind of recruits her actors.
Okay.
Because she looks at what you've done, how you look. You know, is there a place for you? Because she ran a drama school, but also her own agency.
Right.
And she had quite a few actors that she produced, and one of the actors were Stacey Slater, EastEnders.
Oh, from EastEnders.
Yeah, I can't remember her real name there. She was kind of on her books.
Yeah.
Emil Amin. He's the guy that played. He was in The Bill, and he also was in Idris Elba's film Yardie.
Okay, yeah.
She had him as well.
On the books
at the time.
Yeah.
She had a lot of the up and coming people, and there's some other names as well. But we. I rang her up. She said, "Come down to Harrow.
Yeah.
I'll have a look at you, see what you can do." Went down there. I remember the first thing she said to me was, "Andrew, I explained my background in football and how much commercials I've done."
Yeah.
And she went, "This is not football, and this is a lot harder than football."
Wow. Why did she say that? Why did she say that?
I thought to myself, she's chatting rubbish. Not rubbish, I thought.
Yeah.
What? I mean, don't get me wrong. She knows what she's talking about. I mean, she was completely and utterly right.
Yeah,
she was right. Much different, complex. Of course it is. It's acting.
You're right. Yeah.
Because completely. But at the time, she said to get work and do this, you have to know your game. You have to. And she goes, it's a much harder profession than football.
Because I believe acting, you got to kind of be a double person, innit? Kind of thing. You understand? It all depends on the role you're playing. It. You got to automatically switch it to that person.
Well, that's what you're getting trained to do.
Yeah.
I think with what she meant was in terms of getting work. And you to be your highest level, because it's not just about your acting, it's also about your look.
Yeah.
So the colour of my skin might determine from getting a commercial, getting a role, even I'm good enough.
Yeah.
Your height, whatever it is, that could deter you.
Yeah.
Football, slightly different. It's about your ability.
That's right.
So your ability is not always going to get you through the door. And to learn acting thoroughly, it does take a long time because there's so much different sides to it.
Yeah.
And to get on a decent level. And then another thing as well, it's hard to kind of be different from another actor. Does that make any sense?
Yes. So you got to be unique in your own way.
So you're learning all the same stuff.
Yeah.
You got to try and...
Maybe sometimes who you're planning to be unique against, you might have to study their kind of skills, acting skills, and then after you see where hole you could fit in to make it different.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Because exactly what you're saying, exactly what a lot of actors do. Right. They've got, like, if you look at, like, I don't know, you might look at someone like Christopher Walken, bad boy actor.
Yes.
You might look at Al Pacino, how Al Pacino played Scarface.
He moulded it.
Yeah. How he played Scarface. If you had Robert De Niro do it, he would have done it a different way.
Yes,
so
you're right.
Everyone would have sat down and said, hold on a minute. So you have to study the craft. So So yeah, so that's where she said that she was right. Done my stuff, signed up with her, and that's when the ball started rolling. Now, I'm kind of going through this quite fast because there's a lot, there's a lot into it, lot in it. But I'm just getting the main bullet points. So from there, I started auditioning. Started auditioning for like EastEnders, all the English.
That must have been endless auditions, isn't it?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't as much as you think because now. When I played football and I went up for commercials, my ability would stand out as an actor.
Because your skills, your football skills.
Yeah, because I could do a lot of different
your
things.
Skills,
With acting, you're just an actor. How do you stand out without a CV? So you go in there, you got to read a script. You might read it. You might try and be clever and read it differently from that other actor coming.
And you got to memorise that script also.
Yeah, but that's obvious. But what I'm saying is, everyone's going to read it the same.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? What you're gonna do is like, you might, I don't know, you might be like, you might have the page and it might say, might swear, John, you, what time are you meant to be coming home?
Yeah.
And you can say, John, you, what time are you meant to be? John, you, what time? You can say it.
All depends what kind of tone and expression on your face.
You've got to make that up.
Right.
And now when you do that same tone, John, you,
what?
What time are you coming home? You could try and change it a certain way, and they could go, didn't like the way done it, but you've only got 1 or 2 chances. They don't tell you. So you go in there, you don't know what to...
You don't know what they're going to chuck at you.
Thank you.
Because they ain't going to tell you what they're expecting from you.
Right, you don't know what's on their mind.
Right.
If you knew what was on their mind, it'd be a lot easier. When you're going up for football commercials, you know what's on their mind. They want to see you control that ball, put that ball in the top corner, or do their most amazing skills. With a piece of acting, you don't know what they want. You could go too high, they want low.
You're right.
I auditioned for a Yardie Top Boy last year, and I'm thinking
Who done that? Who done that film? That Yardie Top Boy.
It's Drake.
Okay.
American rapper.
He done.
He's bought the rights.
Yes, you're right. Yes. From because Asher D was.
Asher's
that's
playing
right.
the main
That's
part.
right. Yes. Yeah.
And I auditioned for a yard man in between. There's a yard man in it that basically bullies up the place. His storyline's quite good. It sounds quite good actually. But I played a yard. I was auditioning for a Yardie, and I was playing him mad. I thought I was fantastic. But when I went to the audition, they said, "No, tone it down."
But didn't it?
Yeah, but I was trying to tone it down. But then I thought it's too minimal for me. It's too. What was the point then?
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna do my Yardie accent now because if I do it,
not even at us.
You might start laughing. Listen, I had to. Yeah, it was good. Put it that way, it was good. Yeah, it was good. So, basically, done that. That went according to plan. Well, it didn't go according to plan because I didn't get the role. But what the point I was making was, what I was making is when you go out for those, as I said, when you go out for those auditions, you just don't know what's expected, so it's really hard. Now,
because they ain't going to tell you what they want. They just want to see that you could kind of deliver what they want.
Yeah.
Because if they tell you what they want, it doesn't really make sense. So they want to see the potential within oneself, innit? Really.
Well, I'm going to tell you. And remember, I started to direct, so we're going to go there. I'm going to tell you what happened in understanding this whole acting business.
Yeah.
So, what happened is, ended up doing auditions, and then as a filmmaker in the UK, his name's Noel Clark.
Yeah.
And I auditioned for one of his films, and I remember going out for my birthday and I got smashed. I was drunk. Went to my mate's house, and then it was them. I remember getting the audition. Them times your emails wouldn't come straight to your phone. You'd have to go on your computer to check your emails. Yeah. So my agent rang me and said, "Check your email. You got an audition for tomorrow." I said, "What for?" She goes, "A feature film. It's written by a guy called Noel Clark. It's called Adulthood. He wrote Kidulthood, a film called Kidulthood."
Oh, using Adulthood?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so Kidulthood, and but this is now called Adulthood.
Yeah.
So I said, okay. So I ended up reading the script for the audition. So I read the script and I thought, so I was sort of bad at it to watch films and try and not create my own ending. But
your film connoisseur kind of thing.
Yeah, I just think, they should have done that. Yeah. They should have had this actor.
Like critic.
Complete critic. I'd be like, why didn't he do that? And why didn't he cut from there to there?
Yeah.
Blah. If I don't know, if Brian De Palma directed it, or I don't know, Michael Mann, and you can see the different styles of directing. So when as I said, when I read his script, I went, okay, auditioned for it. I didn't get the role. I didn't get it.
Yeah.
All right, and I think he was in the room, so he was interviewing me, and I remember him saying, and at the time, I was boxing. I boxed for a bit of time in my life. So I was boxing at the time, and I remember he goes, "What do you do?" And I went, "I box." And after the audition, he went to me, "Good luck with your boxing." So I didn't know.
What? How to take it? What do you?
What does it mean by that? Does it mean I'm never going to see him again?
Does that mean you're not in the film, or what?
Yeah. So I said, I'm a feisty guy, but I thought, so I ended up thinking, if I don't get a phone call next week, I'm paying him a visit now.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, so I didn't get the role, but actually, I think he made me read twice for one of the roles. So I think I was nearly close to getting it, but it doesn't matter anyway. It was all for a reason. I read the script, I think that night, properly, because he sent the whole script. So I read the whole script and I thought, not a bad movie.
Yeah.
And then at the time I was working. I was friends with another actor, Italian boy.
What's his name?
His name's Fabrizio. His acting name's Fabrizio Santino.
What film?
He was in Hollyoaks.
Okay.
A bit of a top superstar name in it, Fabrizio Santino. But yeah, he was in Hollyoaks for like 3 years.
Yeah.
So before he got Hollyoaks, he used to come around my house on Friday, and we used to go through like lines and stuff like that, and practice acting. And
so you bounce off each other kind of thing then?
Yeah, we worked quite well together, me and him actually. It was quite a good combination. So we've done a few things, and in the end, I was going up for auditions, but I started to realise that Sharon was right. It's a hard industry to crack. And
so that's when you reflect upon what she told you then.
Well, it wasn't like football. She was right. It had different. It had so much different dimensions. It was just too. It was too hard to nail down work and
dynamic.
For the money that was being offered, it wasn't great.
Yeah.
And I started to realise how controlled acting is, even in the advertising. I mean, I went up for a commercial once for.
Yes,
gambling advert, right?
Yeah.
And it was like a sportsy type advert where they wanted 5 guys to be talking in between the games.
Yeah.
So they must have auditioned like about maybe 200 actors.
Yeah.
Now, when I audition for acting roles, I always know they need a black guy. So I always try to be that black guy they need.
That they want.
It's a business, isn't it? You think, right, I've got to be the black guy. So the black guy role, the demographic, yeah. Anyway, so I ended up going up for the commercial, and they narrowed me down, and I was in the last 20. This advert paid $1,000, right?
Man.
And I said,
for
advert. I said, but it was ongoing, so then you had to film for about 4 months, but in bits, like a day here, day there, day. You know what I mean? So it was in between the football matches. Anyway, the director liked me. Let me show you how mad this industry is. The director liked me, right? Because I knew when I came back for the recall, pardon me, the agent contacted me, and there was 2 agents involved in this commercial, and one of them said, "Yeah, we're down to the last 20 people, and there's only 2 black guys."
So they've been shortlisted right down, really.
Yeah, there's 2 black guys in this 20, so it's basically you, and I think it's going to be out of me and the other black guy. So I thought, right. And they had me, I think there was auditioning us in like 4s or 5s.
Yeah.
I walked into the room. The director said, Andrew, he spoke to me, he didn't speak to many of the others. He went, Andrew, listen, I saw your showreel, your acting showreel online. I'm very impressed. You're a good actor. So in my mind, I went, yes, I've got this. I want the director's talking to me.
It's in the bag. It's in the bag.
It's sweet.
It's a goal.
It's good to go. Everything's going to be lovely. So, and then he said and we had, all the conversations that we was having in the commercial was about football. So he said, right, sit down, and I'm gonna talk to you guys about football, and I'm gonna ask Andrew all the questions, and I want you to bounce off Andrew. So I got 2 to my left, 2 to my right. So I think right. But here I go on now. The representatives were in the room.
Yeah.
Right. So they're in the room. Minor. I just do my stuff in it. You know what I mean? All I've got on my head is
You're spending it already.
Yeah, I am. And there's a guy that was on it called Rob Thorne. So Rob Thorne, I met him at the audition process, and funny enough, he said, "And you make films?" And I was, sorry, this is, all right, but I'm not going to get into the filmmaking bit yet. But Rob knew me from something I'd done before. Rob's a white guy, Cockney kind of white guy. Anyway, he was in that same scene with me.
Yeah.
And he was to my right and blah, blah, blah. I was the main guy. Anyway, I'm thinking, I've got this in the bag. Left the audition, we all went for a drink quickly, sent to it after. Some of the actors thought, all I'm doing now is waiting for my agent to phone me. All I'm done, I've got it. Cause I know, because you know when you get a commercial, I've probably done over 50 commercials.
Sure.
From 2001 upwards. I've done so many. So I've done this different photo shoots. This.
Yeah, because I even see on the commercial when you're kicking about football.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, I'm sure that's free.
Yeah, I've done loads. I've still got the invoices. Like, I actually know how much I've done.
Yeah.
Loads. Like, so I know when you when you got it. Got the phone call from. Now they said, "Oh, Andrew, yes, we want to book you in for the commercial, but we're not going to use you just yet."
So what does that mean? I don't understand.
What's that mean? She goes, we're going to use you in a few months because we're going to go over another 4 or 5 to begin with, but we're going to use you at some part. Guess what happened?
That's just me and you.
We want that. We want him and him. So even if the director says to us, girl, Andy, listen, these are the best guys. We might go, because we're watching it, we might go, no, I don't want him. I don't want him.
Yeah.
So that's what it was. And it was embarrassing because the director almost told me I had it, and it was embarrassing for everyone. So I didn't get it. And even Rob, the Rob guy, he got it.
And he got it.
And he wasn't even in the reckoning like me.
What Rob was it?
No, it's a white guy that I just told you about.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, he met me on the audition, but he got it. He said, "Andy, listen, it's wrong." He goes, "Bruv, I don't know how you never got that. The guys on the advert, they're stiff as anything. They're all well spoken. They're not even know nothing about football."
So you see, there's still kind
politics.
Of
So what we're saying is, when you've got a skill to do something, if you're a good boxer, where's the politics?
Yeah.
You can't. If you go in them ring, whatever happens in that ring, they can't stop.
That's right.
They can't control. But you get in a role, they can control. That's the politics I'm talking about. So in the end, I've missed that because of politics.
Well, hopefully, as time gets on, things will change and people's mentality will change. That dinosaur mentality will kind of change because they're gonna have to realise what kind of environment we're living in at the minute now.
Well, it's ownership. The whole thing's about ownership. Because it's a thing, as you can see.
Thank you. That's it. Yeah.
No, on a real, because what happened?
What is that? Show me that again.
That's my that's my film company, AF Films.
Okay.
I know it says AF.
Yeah.
That's meant to be Frith Films.
Yeah, you can see it plain as day.
So it's a double thing. AF Films, but it's meant to be Frith Films. But the whole argument is I didn't get that. But moving on to Noel Clarke, let me get back to that story.
Yeah.
I ended up looking at the script, realising that, you know what, I might write a small short film. I told the Italian guy, Fabrizio, that I was working with, that I'm gonna we should do a short film.
Was that your first ever film we're talking about?
This ended up being my first film.
Okay.
All right, and then he said to me, you know what, that's not a bad idea.